Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Send up that bat signal. Come on. Send it out. Bring in some friends. I'm going to do this, and then I got things I got to do today. So we're talking all about divine timing today. It's a good thing for me to sit here and say I got things I got to do, right? That has nothing to do with it. It's all about divine timing. Those things, those people, those circumstances that sometimes don't seem so divine in our lives that have perfect timing. So let's see where that conversation goes today. Asked for a card from Kuan Yin, and I've got one that's beautiful, so we'll do a card reading. I'm not really booted up yet, so forgive me for seeming sleepy. She's here. She's here. She's waking up. Good morning to whoever's popped in. I can't see you, but good morning to you. I'm a little bit early, late, whatever. Some days it's 10:30, some days it's 10. Today I came in right in the middle. 10:17 is one of my favorite numbers. It's my birthday, so I always see 10:17 pop up. So it was fitting that I looked up and saw the number 10:17. We're all about divine timing today. Who's there with me? I feel like I'm like puny today. So as I'm talking, I'm like, where's the voice? Come on, vocal cords, wake up. I am tired. I'm tired, and all I've had is water today. So I'll improve on that. I'll bring in some energy. We got the card, the Bamboo Moon. I'm going to keep showing it this morning. A lot of people won't pop in right away because I'm early, late, something. So we got the Bamboo Moon. Bamboo Moon is all about divine timing, even in our relationships and everything that's going on in our lives. Good morning, Angel. Good morning, Carol. Come on in. It's all about divine timing, and I'm learning how to be more patient. I'm trying to sit here and just be still for a little bit. That's all. Everything is in its perfection, right? Good morning, Michael. Good morning. I hope that you're having a wonderful day also. Mine's really just getting started. I've been kind of pokey this morning. You know those days when you're just like, I just need time alone, which is pretty much me every day. My first hour or two is me time. It's time for me to just try to sort myself out and try to figure out what's going on. So it is all about divine timing today. The card that I pulled, and I just showed it, and we've got more people. So it's all about divine timing, Kuan Yin. I love to pull, every now and then I get that urge to pull a card from Kuan Yin because I feel like the messages are so perfect, and the message is so perfect for me today. Here's the thing is that we've got this timeline thing going on. You know, we've got all of these timelines seem to be melting in together, or they're popping up. This morning. I was in a 2-year relationship with a person who lived in California, and I traveled. We went to Ireland. We went all across the country. We went to Sedona. We went to Carlsbad Caverns. We went to the Grand Canyon. Ireland, England, all these places. It was a beautiful time. It was a very important relationship for me. It was the first relationship after Steve, and he was very different sort. He's a good man. He really is. He's a good man. He's got his trigger points too. You know, things weren't always perfect, but we learned a lot from each other. That's the thing, is that these relationships are all here to teach us. And so by triggering one another, we kept working. We kept giving each other the opportunity to heal. It's all about, I got triggered. I'm not turning that blame onto you. I am going to go within myself. He taught me very effectively. He didn't tell me how to do this. It just was like the universe bringing him to me so that I could realize that whatever's going on in my world is my responsibility. Those people that are in our world, they're always here to teach us. And those ones that are not so pleasant, they're also here to teach us. As a matter of fact, they're some of our greatest teachers. And so when they trigger us, it gives us the opportunity to look within ourselves and say, okay, what is it that's not healed within me that I still need to work on? Because if I'd had that healing, and if my self-love was really, really intact, that wouldn't have bothered me, you know? So, and everyone does it. It's not just in, romantic relationships. It can be our children. It can be our loved ones, our parents, anyone. As we have these unhealed wounds within us, we will keep pulling in. We will keep attracting those people who will come into our world to help us to become aware that we still have healing. And that's a difficult thing for people to accept. We tend to be, the human race tends to be very good at pointing the finger, passing judgment, looking at someone else and saying, it's not my fault, it's your fault. We start that at a very young age, don't we? I didn't do it. I was baby number 4. I was a little troublemaker. I was the little redhead. And I had 3 brothers and 1 sister. And you can bet that I did a little tattletaling, and I was not the perfect angel. We are not perfect. We all, no matter how we come off, we all have our things that have happened in our world. We all have our ways of trying to turn things around and make it somebody else's fault. We're all like that to a certain degree until we learn not to be, right? So it's been a process for me to work through that energy and to see these people, and instead of looking at them and going, and see, I'm teaching myself again. I'm my greatest teacher. Instead of looking at them and finding fault and saying, because I often would say, well, as long as the good outweighs the bad. But what is really bad and what is really good? Is it all here to teach me? So as I'm in these different relationships and with different people, am I just judging them wrongly? Am I seeing things about them that I don't like about them because it's something that I might not like about myself? Or I still have those damaged parts inside of me that are like, I don't like that about you because I still have this lonely little girl inside of me that's needy. It's all about that. What is it inside of me that attracted this person into my existence, and what are they here to teach me? And I get lessons all the time. I don't know about you, but I am continuing all the time because I want my soul to continue to grow, because I want to pull my ego with it. Come on, ego, you got to come with me. I'm not stepping out of this physical form anytime soon, as far as I know. So this ego's got to play the game too. And I want all the growth that I can possibly master in this lifetime. And so if I'm going to do all that, then I've got to be open to the idea that it's me, that all of the circumstances that are in my life, I have drawn into myself. And all of the relationships that I have in my life, I have drawn into myself. And some of those relationships, for a while, they were exactly what I needed at the time. Both the good and the bad, all of the pieces that came with it were what I needed when I had it. And then there's that part of us, that very intuitive part of us that knows, that just will keep quietly sometimes and sometimes loudly saying, okay, time to let that one go. It's time to move forward. Somebody's angry outside my window. It's time to move forward. It's time to create space, because there are other relationships out there, right? We're not always just stuck. You're not a tree. You're not really a tree. You kind of feel like a tree sometimes. I love that. I love to feel like a tree, but I'm talking about the idea that you don't actually have roots. You can pick up. You can leave. You can change. You can, the hardest part is that moment of deciding, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. It's scary. It's really scary, but I'm going to step out of this so that I can continue to grow. This relationship is not allowing me. It's smothering me. It's not allowing me to grow. And I need to keep on moving past it. Or that other side, the flip side is wait a minute, maybe I've been judging this poorly. Maybe I need to spend some more time on it and stop looking at that person in judgment and trying to decide if they're good enough for me. Do I have a right to do that? Really? Really? Am I judging them poorly because of my own wounds and my own stuff? Because there's every relationship that we have is here to teach us. And if we don't learn everything that we're supposed to be learning from that relationship, we'll step away from it. And guess what? Somebody else is going to step into place. We're just going to continue to create opportunities for ourselves to learn and to grow from these different people who exist in our lives. So if it's a difficult learning curve, and it's something that we would rather not do, and we decide, oh, it's too difficult, it's too painful, I just can't do it, I've got to step away from this, and somebody else will come in. And it may be somebody that seems totally different, and you're like, well, okay, this is okay. I'm letting this one in because this one's just the opposite of that one. And it turns out that the way that they are responding and the way that they're doing things is not so different after all, because you haven't fully learned from it. You haven't experienced it. So it's treating all of these things as experiences, opportunities, instead of treating them as some kind of punishment, as some kind of like whatever. Like we can be very negative about our experiences. And it's all here to teach all of it. And can you love all those parts? Can you love all those people? I think it's important for me to rise above a little bit higher than I've ever been before and look at the relationships that are in my life and really, really value them for what they are and have been in my world. You know, all of the relationships, even the 20-year abusive marriage, had plenty of opportunities for me to grow. And it created 6 amazing humans. And I learned so much, even though I was very asleep in that relationship. Man, I sure learned what I didn't want. And I also had many, many opportunities to grow and to be bigger, to be stronger, to learn and how to be strong in my own self, how to learn that if the biggest lesson I think from that first one was self-love is so important. And before I look at any other relationships, serious relationships, that remembering that I need to learn to love me first. That before I get into it, it's not anybody else's job to give me that unconditional love. Some may do that for us, but first we have to find it in our own selves, right? So I'm all stuck in relationships today. I hope that helps somebody. Angel, good morning. Let's see what you guys got. Hi, Lisa. So glad you're here. Hi, Auntie. Auntie Sun Martin. Always on the ball. I'm trying to be on the ball. What do we got? Mirroring back to us. Exactly. Yes, I keep getting this message. Yes, it's a strong message for us because we are moving into a higher reality, right? We are moving into a higher frequency. And the truth is that the most important relationship that we can possibly have is with ourselves. Then we allow others into our experience. We can choose who we would like to have, who would like to come in. But if we don't first take care of our own needs and stand strongly in our own selves, then every relationship that we pull into ourselves is mirroring that and will come in as showing us our neediness or showing us our weaknesses instead of me being strong in my own self and saying, oh, I'm okay all by myself. I'm okay. I'm really good. I can stand strong. I am filled with unconditional love. I can call in that higher self at any moment. And I am so much more than I ever thought that I was. And then as I stand there in that place of not being holier than thou, but just being secure in my own self. I'm solid. I'm secure. Then it doesn't really matter what that other person does or doesn't do. See, that's where that codependency comes in. If we're not standing in our own selves, if we don't look and find that love within ourselves, then everything that they do when we pull in a relationship, or don't do, they don't get us flowers, they forget our anniversary, they forget our birthday, they just aren't being romantic enough, they aren't taking us out enough, they aren't doing this, they aren't doing that, they didn't get me a big enough diamond ring, they didn't. It's exhausting, isn't it? Relationships, when I look at the typical 3D relationship, if I'm watching a TV show and there's these relationships that are just all tied up in knots, and I'm like, come on, what are you doing? What are you doing? You forgot that you need to love you first. It's not that important. It really isn't. If that person forgets a holiday, it really is okay. It's okay. Because I love myself so much that if that person that I have in my life in a relationship forgets to do something, well, I'm just going to do it for myself. Or I'll go, here's one. Here's a really great trick. If somebody forgets your birthday, it maybe they're just really busy and really stressed out. Maybe you could just remind them. Hey, did you forget something? It's my birthday. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. It's your birthday. Let's go out and celebrate. Or I can do the, geez, forgot my birthday. Must be he didn't love me enough. Maybe he's just not good enough for me. You see the difference? We all forget. We're all human. And when we really love each other, we don't need to put all that codependency, nonsense, emotional. See, women tend to be the worst about this. I want to pick on all of us. We don't like to voice things. We feel a lot. We feel everything. But we like them to try to figure it out on their own. You know, like, I'd really like it if he'd asked me to do this, but I'm not going to tell him. I'm just going to sit here and wish that he would and kind of send out mental. And then when he doesn't, I'm going to get more and more hurt. And then eventually I'm going to blow up and I'm going to get angry because he didn't do what I didn't ask him to do. Isn't that funny? It's so funny, human nature. I love to study people, me included. Steve told me once, here's the words of wisdom from Steve. I'm a guy. If you really want something and you know specifically what it is that you want, if you ask me for that specific thing, I'm going to make sure you get it. But I'm a guy. I'm not going to figure it out all by myself. You ladies out there that are still going through that drama, guys don't have that capacity. 9 times out of 10, their brains don't quite work the way the female brain works. So please, give them a break. Cut them a little slack. Just tell them. Just remind them. If you don't want your birthday to be forgotten, you can put a little reminder out there. You can write it on a calendar. you can do something. Steve was really funny. He couldn't remember dates that well, so he would usually give me something. Valentine's Day, I always got flowers 3 or 4 days before. And he would take me out to dinner before. Because, the restaurants get really busy. Let's just do it. Let's do it now. Or my birthday, I would get something a week before my birthday. Or anything like that. Because it wasn't that he forgot. He just knew that he was a very busy man. That he was very distracted. And that there was a good chance that if he put it off until that very day, that he might forget or he might be too busy. And he wanted to make sure that I knew that he was thinking of me. Every day is a holiday when you look at it that way. It was okay. It didn't matter what the calendar said. He was just showing me that he loved me whenever he felt the urge. So, I don't know where this is going and who needs to hear this, but I think it's important that we start to look at our relationships differently. Start to treat them like we want to be treated. And I know I'm getting this message for a very specific reason. We just love. That we're all so imperfect. All of us, we're just so imperfect. And those that we're in relationships with, they're just really imperfect too. And we can all be imperfect together, and we can all be more forgiving and more loving. That's the simplest message. No higher self, logo, whatever today is just like, look around you, all the people that are in your life. I had someone the other day, two nights ago. She was very, very important. She and I, when Steve died, she was always giving me messages from Steve, and very important. And we even spent some time. She and her daughter came to meet me and my kids, and we hung out here in the mountains, and we had a good time. And she and I have kept in contact. I'll send her things, but she's moved off to all the way to the other side of the country, and so sometimes we talk, and we talk a lot, and it's really, really cool. And then other times we'll go for a long time without talking. And so she checked in on me the other day, and I had forgotten, and I finally got back to her, and she gave me this beautiful message, and it was really, really nice. And then after a while, she said, I miss how close we used to be. And then I felt bad. I'm like, wow, I've forgotten, didn't I? I've forgotten to really nurture that relationship. We have all these relationships coming in and going out, and we'll spend time with some of them, and then others come in, and we're always like, we've got all this, stuff going on around us all the time, and we forget people. So my reminder is today to sit down and do a little inventory. I reached out to somebody with her also. I said, I'm sorry, I got to work harder at this. And she said, don't apologize. I just meant that it was, she didn't really mean it all that seriously. But it was a reminder to me. And I reached out to someone today, too, to say, hey, you know what? That 2 years that we spent together was really important to me. It was really beautiful. It was a beautiful time. Thank you so much for that. Even those that have come into our lives and they've been very important and then they've stepped back out, sometimes they still need to hear, hey, thank you. So just reminding you today and reminding me today, we're all in this together. If somebody keeps popping up, if you keep getting reminders and synchronicities and things that are like reminding you of a certain human, maybe it's time to reach out. Maybe there's a reason why that keeps coming to you. Listen to your intuitive abilities and say, oh, that person might need me today. Maybe that's why I keep getting that message. We have to value each other, don't we? Lisa, I'm in my first relationship since Chuck, and it's good, but hard at times, yes. I feel for you. No matter how many relationships you ever have, that love never goes away, that solid, beautiful relationship with the one that you lost, and it can be very difficult. And times, the ones that we're in relationships with don't quite understand either, I think. I want to make sure I'm still me. I don't want to fall into old habits. So I needed to hear this. Good. I can pull a card. I did pull a card. I pulled a group card, Auntie. I don't want to get started in this one. I can pull cards for people in another thing, but I don't have time to pull cards for everybody here right now. That would take too long. I'm going to show you the card that I pulled for the group. It's what got me going today. If you can read it, Bamboo Moon. And the reason why we got that card today was because I was already having a conversation this morning and it fit perfectly. Did you know that there are no mistakes in the universe? In all events, circumstances, relationships, and situations are unfolding in perfect imperfection with the timing and intelligence of the divine plan. Any apparent delay is in your favor. If something is happening for you right now, then that is perfect too. Divine timing is perfection. It is safe to trust this now. I don't need to give you, this little part is nice. You might be wondering if anything is ever going to come together for you or if it seems to be happening quickly now. If you are even ready for it, excuse me, the answer is yes. So that's our group reading, that whatever it is. I do that. I know, and I can be as bad as anybody at this. I can be like, man, I've been working at this for a long time. I've been putting my face out here for a long time. I've been writing books. I've been doing a lot. And sometimes I feel just like, am I really getting anywhere? Am I just spinning my wheels? And so the answer today is yes, you are getting someplace, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you've been waiting for, or if it's coming in very, very quickly, yes, it's divine timing and it's perfection. And so if it's not happening right this second, divine timing. And if it is happening right now, it's divine timing. And it is releasing the idea that we have to try to control when things happen or how they happen, and just get into that flow, lay back in it, and just let yourself go. And when it's right, it's going to be right there for you. And sometimes that divine timing brings something into you and you're like, oh, this is perfect. I've got everything. And then you're like, this is going to last forever. And then that divine timing pulls it right back away and something else happens. And so it's just that card is really that reminder. Divine timing. It's a beautiful phrase, and it's important for us to remember that we don't need to try to force the water. We don't need to push that water down the waterfall. We don't need to do that. It's going to go when it's going to go, when it's exactly right to go. If you watch nature does that. The water goes down the stream, around the rocks, keeps working its way until it finally gets to that waterfall and over it goes. And you need to do the same thing. Just be in the stream today. Let yourself just flow down that river. Whatever it is that you're waiting for. Good morning, John. Whatever it is that you're waiting for, that you're hoping for, that you're thinking that you should be doing, that whatever. It's all about divine timing. And it's about releasing that need to control. Let go of control sometimes. Just let yourself go. That's what it's all about. All right, you guys. Let's go into a quick meditation. I got to go take a kid out and about for a little bit. So we need to have a little bit of quiet time together for a few minutes. Let's see, how can we meditate on this with a divine timing? Bring it. I'm going to call in the angels. Calling in Archangel Michael first for protection for all of you. In your homes, on your land, every object that you have in your home, every person, every pet, your car, asking for protection, asking for clearing energy to come on through, clearing away any lower vibrational energies away from you, out of your auric field or around your auric field, wherever it may be. So feel that energy coming in now. Very nice. Thank you, Michael. Keep breathing nice and easy, calling in Archangel Raphael for healing, and Archangel Gabriel for clearing, or for clarity. That's my word, for clarity today. All of us that have questions about where we're supposed to be and when we're supposed to be there and what we're supposed to be doing. Let's just allow Archangel Gabriel to come in and help us with that. Calling in Kuan Yin, who is already present with me this morning, for any kind of guidance. Calling in some water so I don't lose my voice. So let's get our feet planted now that we're just surrounded by beautiful angels. Get your feet planted. Let yourself just sit in this beautiful energy for a moment. And as you feel those roots coming out your feet might feel nice and warm. Let those roots come out through the bottoms of your feet. There's a yellow butterfly that keeps flying by my window. Hello, Steve. I've seen it 4 times in the last 2 minutes. It's just like, he loves yellow butterflies. So those roots are down deep, deep, deep into the earth. feeling that energy that just came in. Rest in it for a second. Definitely Steve energy, but a little different. It threw me off. I'm like, oh, what is it? This is what I do with him. Like, what do you got going on? And I'm feeling it right in the throat, so he may take over. Thank you, John. So allowing for a message to flow on through at this time is completely okay. There's a gentleness about it. There's a gentleness about that, the butterfly, and reminding you to be like that butterfly now. To allow yourself to float on the breeze. The breeze comes and it lifts the butterfly higher in the sky. And then as the breeze blows away from the butterfly, it drops down lower. And there's such a gentleness and a dance in the way that a butterfly exists on the planet. It's such a short time. The time that they have those wings, they go from such a huge transformation. They are in that worm phase and they're just eating all the time and they're growing and suddenly they go within. They wrap this beautiful bubble of protection around themselves, chrysalis, and they stay in there. And then as they break free, suddenly, imagine yourself now. I want you to be that butterfly. Be the butterfly for just a moment. You are coming out of your chrysalis, and you are suddenly aware that you have changed. You are not the same little creature that went in. And as you come out, you just imagine now that there are wings on your back. You're like, what is this? What is this thing on my back? And you start to wiggle around and stretch and think of a butterfly now. You be that butterfly as those wings start to unfold. They're a little damp at first, and they don't really know what to do with them at first, so they're just, let me get a feel for this new thing. It can be difficult. Change is difficult. Transformation is difficult, and it's beautiful. So feel those wings as they stretch out of your back. And start to hold them up in the breeze a little bit so that they'll dry out. Fluff them up a little bit. Get them all stretched out. I want you to fly with me as the butterfly. I hope you can feel his energy. He's so here. Such a beautiful energy. And gentleness this morning. That's the difference. Steve has this way of coming in like boom. This is a gentle, sweet energy. Easy. Easy about life. Be easy. Be easy. Allow those wings to unfold now. Let yourself flutter them around a little bit and start to flutter. Butterflies don't fly, they flutter. They never seem to go in a straight line. They just go. The wind takes them. They don't seem to have any real purpose, do they? They're like, they're not like birds, that birds go, these butterflies, they just flutter. They flutter everywhere. Be a flutterer for a few minutes. Enjoy that feeling of in life. You don't need to have any real direction all the time. It is okay to flutter. It's okay to just allow yourself to be taken around by the wind, to be easy. So as we're going up higher into the sky, we're just fluttering. The wind lifts us gently and lets us drop back down and lifts us up and pushes us in one direction and then in another direction. And we might see a beautiful field of flowers now. Let's all go to that field of flowers. We're drawn to it. We're drawn to nature. We're drawn to that nectar of the flowers. Go find one for yourself. What color is your flower today? I'm seeing lots of purples, yellows, whites. Just a bouquet, this beautiful field laid out before you. All these choices. There's not just one choice and one flower. There's hundreds, thousands of flowers. You get to choose. There's not another butterfly telling you where to go. Poppy's red, beautiful. Go find the flower that you want to go to. Purple. Perfect. Blues. I'm seeing blues. That's what I need is the blues. All the energy's in my throat this morning. I'm going to go to the blue. Asking the angels to open up to work with all of your chakras to get them spinning perfectly balanced as you begin your day today. Let's allow for that clearing energy to go on down through every one of them, bringing a sense of peace, a sense of centeredness so that you can be strong, allowing you to feel all of that love. Call in your higher self as you're flooding around. Can you feel that love that comes in? That's you. You are all the love that you've ever needed. It's right there. So as you get to that flower, you look around. There's a whole bunch of butterflies enjoying flowers around me. I see you. When you have a good drink of that nectar, you can fly again. You get to choose. What would you like to do? Let that breeze come pick you up. Buttercups, dandelions, blue violets. Lovely. What a beautiful combination, Carol. So all these beautiful butterflies, there's hundreds and thousands now. There's so many of us fluttering around, enjoying these beautiful flowers, enjoying this field. That's all we're going to do today. We're just going to fly around. Just find your wings. Hi, Tammy. Just find your wings and keep flying. This is you. This is why they're giving this to you today. We are going through a huge transformation. And when we come through the other side, you're going to come out and stretch your wings. You're going to see how much you've changed. You're going to be so thankful and so grateful for all of this struggling that you're doing right now. That day is coming soon. To feel those wings, enjoy that peace. Let the air, the wind comes around you and it cradles you. It doesn't just move you, it doesn't just push you all over, but it actually cradles you and lifts you up. Doesn't that feel nice? Just a warm breeze. Breathe. Keep breathing as those chakras are getting cleared. Any healing that needs to go on in your body is coming in. Be at peace. There's nothing more peaceful than a field full of flowers and butterflies. Keep breathing. There we go. Lots of beautiful opening up, coming on up through the heart and through the throat. If you feel the need to stretch, yawn, that just stretch out your throat area, allowing you to feel that voice of the angels right in your vocal cords, your angelic vocal cords. I always tell people in my classes, there's another set of vocal cords that we don't know about. They come from the angels. The angels can speak through us, through those vocal cords when you allow it. So let that beautiful energy go right down through your throat. Do its beautiful work. And when you speak through that voice, people listen. They're drawn to you. It's hanging really for a long time right there at the throat. So we're going to keep it. Just keep on floating around, fluttering, enjoying yourself, relaxing your body. Working on some ascension symptoms, helping you to deal with these ascension symptoms more easily, more effectively, with less suffering. Bringing in wisdom through your third eye now, coming down through the higher self. Allow it to flow. There's where your answers are to every question you've ever asked. There they are, coming in. Big old download. Sweet. Thanking the angels. They're really active this morning. You're getting a lot of work done. Rest in that feeling of being cradled and held by the wind. This gentle breeze lifting you off the earth, fluttering those beautiful wings of yours. I want you to begin to flutter them back home to your place. I want you to just flutter, 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 flutter until you get back to where you're sitting. And when you get back to where you're sitting, you're going to feel those roots coming back up into your feet. Mother Earth bringing beautiful energy. Thank you for that. Beautiful energy back up through those roots. All that negative energy is flushed out and been recycled now, and it's just come right back up. And as it comes back up through, you're going to close out those little roots, centers in your feet, and allow it to come all the way up your legs. Pull it all the way up your spine. All the way up. Breathing up and into your crown. Opening up that crown. You've got an abundance of love, source energy coming down over the crown. And if you can take that love and you can send it wherever you'd like to send it. Just for 10 seconds, let's do this together. Just think of where you'd like. And if you don't have a specific place, we're just sending it to wherever it's needed. All this excess, beautiful energy they've just filled you up with, coming on through you and right on out. So for about 10 seconds, I'm going to be quiet. Just concentrate on sending. Think of who you want to send it to. Really beautiful. Circling around the earth, I see these just circles going all around all of you beautiful souls. Just circling, circling, circling that beautiful energy. Healing the earth and those that are existing on the earth. Thank you so much for that. Pain in the back of your neck, stretch it up. Asking Archangel Raphael to come in and work with that. Healing in the back of the neck for Annie. Beautiful. You just got to learn to stop bracing, Annie. You got to learn to stop bracing. We all do it. We hold ourselves so tight, like we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. Relax today. Be good to you today. Get a good neck rub. Give yourself a good neck rub. Put a little oil on it. Good. I'm glad you're feeling it. Glad you're feeling it. It's just from carrying so much weight. Even when you're sleeping, you're bracing. You gotta relax. Let things unfold. Perfect divine timing. Let it unfold. You're doing a beautiful job. All right, take a big breath. We're coming back into the physical. We're going to feel our feet now. I'm going to feel our fingers. Coming back into the real world, if you want to call it. I don't think it's the real world at all. All nice, clear. Asking Archangel Michael to protect each one of us. Wrap each one of us up in this bliss right now. Let you float in this bliss all day long like a bubble. It's this bubble, and inside of it is this beautiful bliss. Like it's a clear, beautiful water. And you're just going to kind of float around in it. And just let yourself relax. You're just in it today. Just stay in it. Just relax into it and enjoy it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the angels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Kuan Yin, Steve, whoever else came in. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. To all of your higher selves and to all of you for joining me here today. I am so grateful, so thankful. Again, please take good care of yourselves today. I will see you again tomorrow morning. You're so welcome, Annie. Take good care. Please take good care of yourselves. I love you guys. Getting relaxed. Going relaxed to bed. My dreams were excellent, Auntie. Rest well. You are very welcome, John. Take good care, guys. I love you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. You're welcome, Carol.